Oh, 2 seconds, Ken. Well, hello all you hardcores. How are you doing? Sorry about the mix-up, Ken. I've been here today, gone home, computer's crashed, I've come back here. So I like to get home in the afternoon, Ken, and get laid down on bed with my dog and watch a bit of telly. Cause I'm here early, like, do you know what I mean? I trained this morning as well, but no problem. How are you?
All good, Russell. All good.
Yeah. Bit of a better computer this one here than one I've got at home. I think everything I own's dropping to bits at the moment. How you been? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I've got the old Dennis Hobson haircut.
Got for the old cue ball.
Yeah, that's it. Slap head.
Yeah. You're starting to get a bit of a name for yourself, Kent, in boxing circles, aren't you?
Well, don't know about that. Like,
Got your AJ top on.
yeah,
Big mate.
Not sponsored by AJ.
Hey, listen, mate. If you get any sponsorship these days, it's good, mate. But if you can get goods, it's better than no, mate, isn't it?
It's better than nothing. The only goods I got was Joe. Joe sent me over the t-shirts, so that's my.
You had a porky hat, haven't you?
And I've got a porky hat. I have a porky hat, so
I've got
porky
your
hat
porky
and
hat.
Joe t-shirt.
Now got your porky hat on.
I'm just embracing being bald, Russell. That's what it is. I'm just coming to terms with being bald. So
Listen, mate, I was like that when I started with Dennis, so we're just happy to be involved. Over 5 years down the line, you're still waiting for a paycheck.
that's it. That's boxing, isn't it?
That's what boxing does to you, mate. You get drawn in. Before you know where you are, you're running around like a blue horse fly. Right, forfeit for nothing. But hey ho, things have changed. There's a lot gone on. We don't really need to speak about the Conor Benn situation now. They're obviously swerving it. We know what they are, don't we now?
You know yeah, I mean? I'm bored of it. I'm bored of talking about Conor Benn.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't really won anything for us to be speaking about him, has he really?
No, he doesn't deserve it.
So, okay then. Let's start off with the heavyweight division. Should we go straight in with Fury versus Joshua? Fury versus Chisora, sorry.
Yep, it just seems to me that Russell, that it's money for the boys, really, isn't it? It's money in the table. It seems to be now that it's going to be pay-per-view, but it's not a pay-per-view event, and I think we've just been conditioned to buy anything this last couple of years, and we're getting fed it. And I think we've kind of got our own selves to blame because we've been buying so much crap pay-per-views over the last 10 years. We just seem to want to buy it. And that whole last rigmarole with Tyson Fury and Dillian White just proved it. You know, it sold out. The worst thing that actually happened in that fight was it actually sold out. And that basically is just told the promoters that they can put anybody in with any sort of record on any sort of form, and us as fans will be stupid enough to buy it.
Yeah, they're paracetamol then, Ken. I've just dropped a bottle of Calvin Klein on my foot in the bedroom, getting ready to come and see you. Foot's come up like a balloon. It's from somebody, some woman I used to know years ago. I never used it for ages. I thought I'll use that now. I've dropped it on me. But anyway, this is how I look at it, right? Fury versus Chisora. I keep saying Joshua. Chisora, war Chisora. When has he ever brought a war to a fight? When the last time he was in a war and he brought it?
It's like they all say, you know, Derek Chisora is this great gatekeeper and all, and he's this, but the gate's closed. The gate was closed long ago, Russell. You know, he's 12 losses in his record. You know, the gate is well and truly closed. He's definitely not the gatekeeper.
The thing is, you see, this is how I look at it, right? Saudi, this is what I've heard from people I know. Saudi, they didn't want the fight. They wanted it in Saudi, but Saudi didn't want them. Fury can't go to America, can he? I don't know why. He's got no criminal record, so I kind of like side with him on that. He's never been in trouble in his life, Tyson, so he should be able to go there. He can't go there. His dad can't go there, but his dad's same as me, similar criminal record, right? So his dad, fair enough. If his dad goes there, I'd be going berserk, right? But Tyson should be allowed there, but he can't go to America. So Americans don't want it. If they did, Bob Arum would have got him his green card, wouldn't he? Because he's well in with all immigration, all that. He's ex-lawyer and all that, isn't he? So he can't go to America. Saudis don't want it. So they're in England, but don't try and sell it in England as we're bringing it back to fans and all that. We're giving fans a treat and all that. No, 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 no. You can't go to Saudi, you can't go to America. England were third choice. Let's get that right first before we start. Do you agree?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right. So they can't fight abroad and all that, Saudi and America. So they're in England now. You've just seen prices, haven't you? I've just sent you prices for the seating, and look, it looks like they're going to sell out in a day, doesn't it? Because people buy into this myth. They buy into these mythical fights. Chisora's going to bring it. He's up for it. He's really crazy. Last thing you lose is your power and all that. And you only need one punch if you're in heavyweight. No. No. We heard all this before Usyk. We heard all this before other fights. This war thing that he's got running around in his head, because he's that brain dead, he's starting to think he's in wars. Have you ever heard him talk? He's like drawing all the time. Classic signs of being knocked about. Do you think Tyson's going to pity pat him when he gets him in that ring? No. Tyson's a big bad monster. He'll knock him about. He might give him a cuddle after. Derek will go home. He'll get his senses together and he'll put his 2 million in bank or whatever he's getting. Short changing the fans. But nobody's saying a word because they all want access. These YouTubers are not going to say a word. They're going to tiptoe around it. They're going to say, well, Frank, Derek's highest one available. If he's the highest one available in the WBC, it's because they're not paying any money. If they pay the money, they'll get the fight. Nobody's going to fight him for 2 million. Derek knows he's very fortunate to be in them rankers. He shouldn't be nowhere near that top 15. He shouldn't be near that top 15 at all, mate. He's Cash Alley level him now. He's Cash Alley level. That's the bottom line. I don't know where we're going with it, Ken. I don't know.
I think it's going to be one of the poorest ranked pay-per-view fights. You know, when you look at the opponent. Now, Derek Chisora came in at the rankings last month at 14 in the rankings.
Appeared out of nowhere. It just appeared out of nowhere. On strength of what?
Appeared out of nowhere. You know, 14 in the rankings. You know, there's so many other good fighters in that rankings that you know, why not just turn around and say, you know what, Joe Joyce, we're gonna forget about we're absolutely gonna forget about the Usyk fight. It's next year. You're gonna wait maybe a year on that. Let's just do Tyson Fury or bring over Makhmudov or something like that there, who beat Takam last month. Something like that there would have been a lot more appealing than Derek Chisora with 12 losses on pay-per-view. It's crazy, and we're to blame for this because we have been buying crap pay-per-views this last 10 years.
So when we get a Fury Chisora, everybody's like, oh God, this is better than what we've been getting, but it's still garbage. Listen, pay-per-view, right, years ago, right, Dennis went to HBO offices years ago, and Lou DiBella said, when Lou DiBella with a big noise there, he said, look, Dennis, pay-per-view is supposed to be for when you say, you know what, we need to get home. We can't miss this fight. Everybody's saying, oh, why would we want to watch this? Rubbish. It's rubbish. He's got 12 losses. He's lost 7 out of his last 15. It's garbage. It's garbage. It's in front of our eyes. Do you know what we're going to get soon? Somebody's going to get really hurt. And then they're all going to say, oh, okay, you was right. That's what's going to happen. I'm telling you now. You mark my words.
I remember when pay-per-view was, as growing up, when I was watching boxing, pay-per-view was Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, or Evander Holyfield. And the part of the reason that those fights at that time were pay-per-view was those guys were generating purses of 8 to 10 million a fight.
De La Hoya, Nazim Ahmed as well.
You know, De La Hoya was the first mainstream British boxer to crack box office in the UK and America.
Did you say British boxer?
Prince Nazim.
Sorry, Prince Nazim. Yeah.
You know, you look at that amazing fight in the Garden against Kevin Kelly. Wow, like that was in billboards in America. That was big news in America. To what we're getting now, we're getting Dillian Whyte, Tyson Fury. We're getting Derek Chisora, Tyson Fury, British level guys that have already been knocked out and beat at world level. That's not pay-per-view. And they talk about the purses, you know, the purses of Fury and Derek Chisora doesn't add up to make it pay-per-view. Doesn't.
No, how do you mean?
Well, you look at the gate, what the gate's going to generate. You know, you could pay for their two purses out of the gate and still have profit there.
Let me just say this to you. I know what you're going to get at. I'm going to steal your limelight here. Bricktop and Bob Arum have found an angle, just like Eddie Hearn did with Joshua. You know, the Eric Molina fights, the Brazil fights, you know, the Pulev fights, the Povetkin fights. They found an angle where Fury, like Joshua, is bigger than the belt, and it's an event. People have bought into this going to an event. That's what's happening. And so they're just going to stick any old pug on, will do. Well, we'll get Derek in rankings, throw him in, he'll get slaughtered. But we don't have to pay Derek 10 million, do we? We'll pay him 2, so there's another 8 in pot for them, innit? That's what I've been told today. I've been speaking to some people, some big movers and shakers have been on phone to me today. One of them said, "Oh, I think you need to tone it down." I'm like, yeah. Whatever. We had a 20-minute chat and he went, "Look, this is what's happening." And you picked up on it, haven't you?
Yeah, of course.
You picked up on it. But what they're doing, they're taking a piss from the top of the penthouse. And all their fans are like that. Covered in piss. And I'm not going to be one of them. I won't be paying for it. I've got a fire stick. Winding me up. Winding me up all day about it. They're abusing us. They are abusing boxing fans. And nobody's doing anything. What are you saying about it, Coogan? Hey? And we've got that creepy gad. But that creepy gad running around going, yeah, well, Derek's a better fighter now than when you fought him 8.5 years ago. Tyson just went, shut up. Because something kicked in his head and he thought, well, I can't turn around and say, yeah, he is, because I'd get slaughtered. So we had to shut him down, didn't he? Ken, what are we going to do here?
I agree with everything you said there. That the mathematics is there. You know, you look at that last card that Frank Warren put on. I done a video on it, and it was pound shot pay-per-view, and it was absolutely an abysmal pay-per-view. It's probably the worst pay-per-view card I have ever seen. But you look at the top end, you know, they basically didn't need to put an undercard on, and people still bought it. 90,000 there. We don't know yet the grossing figures of that show, but it still made money. And as you say, they've come up with this formula that I don't blame Bricktop and I don't blame Bob Arum for it. We go back 2 years and we look at that nonsense that Eddie Hearn was putting on in the Garden. You know, oh, it's an event. Matchroom Square Garden. It's an event. Everybody come. It's 500 quid a ticket, and you get canapes and all this nonsense. That was the start of it. That was the start of
Have you
boxing.
seen
Isn't a
cheapest
show?
ticket on
It's
that
an
one I've just
event.
sent you? Have you seen cheapest ticket on
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
That is unbelievable, isn't it? I can't believe that people are paying that.
I'm going to read it out.
Thousands under bed.
I'm going to read it out. So
Read
the
them out,
cheapest, the cheapest ticket is 225. Then it goes up to 281. Then it goes to £337. Then it goes up to 393, 562, 843.75, 1,125, and the top end ticket,
22.
wait for this, £2,250.
22,500 quid, yeah. Well, that's
That's-
that's what you pay at Goldsmiths at Meadowhall just to service your watch. Don't go to Goldsmiths in Meadowhall to take your watch in there, because if they get their hands on it, they'll do stuff to it to make it mess up and then tell you it's X amount. So boycott Goldsmiths. And if they've got a problem, come sue me. Right, go on. Next question. We've dealt with them now. And if you need any demolition work, Spartan Demolition's the place to be. They're doing big building a dam across River Don up at Forge Masters in Sheffield. That's the place to be. Spartan Demolition. So
at least at this time they've actually announced the undercard. The undercard is been announced. Well, one fight on the undercard has been announced. It's Daniel Dubois against South African Kevin Lavena.
is he on Fury's undercard?
Yeah. It's kind of the
yeah.
same. It's kind of the same type of level that Dubois has been fighting at. You know, I looked at Lorena's record. He's got you know, he's beaten the legend, the Sefer Safiri. He beat him. He's had a win at heavyweight.
Dear God, please save me from all this madness.
You sure you want to hear this next opponent? You sure you really want to hear this?
Go on, Ken, let me smash me wrist even more. Go on, what's happening next?
He's actually got a win over Bob Dandinu.
Who?
Bob Dandinu.
Bob, who's he? Where's he from?
Well, that's who Dubois got his #1 WBA ranking off.
Daniel Dubois. Gee, could you imagine being stuck on an aeroplane with him for 5 hours? Oh, he's a right conversationalist, isn't he?
And as well, he's earned this shot at Dubois with, wait for this, that it gets even better, with a win over Marius Vach.
Marius Vach. He's an old codger, isn't he? You finished him off.
Yep, 2 years ago. But that just goes to show the level that you know that Dubois is at the minute. You know, I think it comes over. He was fighting a cruiserweight last year, and now Lorena's fighting as a heavyweight. It just goes to show that it's going to be probably one of those, again, another pound shop pay-per-view. I wouldn't be surprised if Isaac Lowe pops up somewhere in this card.
Isaac Lowe's busy. I've heard of it. He's having he's doing his A-levels in English and maths.
So, you know, at least there's one fight has been announced for, but yeah, it's probably going to be a top end at the top, and at the bottom it's just going to be as cheap and as easy as possible, just for them just to skim. You know, I'm sure Tyson owns the house card, so the less of the undercard, the more money he's going to get from it, and that's what we're going to have to get used to from now on.
Listen, Kent, there's enough money to go around with this show, because Tyson will probably have to take a little bit less than what he's normally been getting, and they've got an opponent in like Chisora who's gone there cap in hand, hasn't he? Because he's been knocked about, he's got 12 losses, he's 40 next year. He'll take anything at the moment. He'll go to bed with an anaconda.
You can't really blame him, Russell. You know, he's getting 2 million. Imagine having 12 losses in your record. Lost 2 of his last 3. and he's getting offered £2 million to fight on pay-per-view. You can't blame him for taking it. It's money. It's free money, really, isn't it? It's free money for Del Boy, and it's free money for Tyson Fury.
His odds are going to be worse than Buster Douglas, and that were 42 to 1 on money.
Massive money.
Chisora will be something like 100 to 1, won't he? Sure, you've got to put a quid on, and you win 100 quid if Chisora wins this fight. That's how bad it is, isn't it? In a 2-horse race, you'll never see odds like this ever, mate. Bob Arum and Bricktop, Tottenham Hotspur, Fury undefeated, best heavyweight in world against Del Boy. Well, let's have it right. Last belt he won were a European. Was it 9 years ago? Was it 9 years ago? Well, he fought Fury 8.5 years ago, and that was for British Commonwealth and European, wasn't it?
That was the first fight.
Did he have a European after? I think Caballe's beat him since then, hasn't he?
Caballel beat him in Monaco.
And did Fury even come out and said, "I think Derek's finished now," didn't he? Do you remember?
Yeah, everybody did. Everybody did.
He's finished. Well, it'd be interesting to see when they fought in Monaco, but that was some years ago. That when Jamie McDonnell fought, wasn't it? When he got that fluke decision. Well, that was many years ago, right? And Fury were out of shape then, wasn't he? And he said, "He looks like Derek's had it now." Now, forward all these years, all of a sudden, Derek's really up for this, and last thing you lose is your punching power, and it only takes one hit, and all this nonsense.
They were talking about him. Gareth A. Davis yesterday was talking about Derek Chisora as if he was George Foreman, as if he was
Gareth the Gad.
Yeah,
the Gad. You're what's wrong with boxing. You're an arse licker. You get your tongue up where it shouldn't be. You weirdo. Weirdos.
I suppose probably the only way they're going to sell it is they'll probably come up with some sparring story, or there'll be stuff coming out that Tyson's got an injury or he's been dropped in sparring and this and that to try and get this fight some legs.
But
they'll
be thinking of something. Well, I'm sure Tyson and his old man, Big John Fury, big fighting man, in the ring or on the hard road, pop, pop, bang, 200 kilo deadlifts. With me, Corey.
Like, I actually go back to the Tyson, the Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas. Mike Tyson was dropped in sparring against the world media, against Greg Page, dropped in the media.
Did McCall drop him as well?
Oliver McCall dropped him as well, the Atomic Bull. But it was live. That was live, and the world and the press just was a complete meltdown after it. But I suppose this time something will come up to try and sell the fight, because surely even casual fans are not going to buy this.
No, they're not, mate. No, they were. No, listen, what? Listen, mate. I was just talking to some people earlier, trying to tell me it's a great fight. Get out of my way. Talk to me about this. What are you on about? At least we're getting boxing, Porky. I went, boxing, it'll be a slaughter. It'll be a slaughter. What'll happen is Chisora will retire on his stool and he'll go, "I give me all for British boxing. I'm a warrior and blah, 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 and I'm retired." And he'll come back again because he'll say, "I've got something left in the basement." He'll give it the old Rocky story, won't it? And you know what? I'm going to end up really, really ill because I've got this on my mind all the time. And if I do it fully all in. But you know what? I'm starting to think that we're being lied to constantly, and it's all designed to get our money. These people don't care for boxing fans. Him and Chisora and Tyson are mates, but they're creating this fake beef. It's a load of rubbish, Just rubbish, mate. It's utter garbage.
I noticed it, Russell, on the last.
Well, look at David and Chisora. They were mates all along. They even set it up. If I get beat against Vladimir, I want to come to Preston and kick it off. And they did the same with Bellew, didn't they? Bellew, David A did the same with Bellew. Twice we fell for it. Why do we keep falling for this? Why are these people masquerading as pay-per-view fighters like David A and Chisora when they weren't? David A weren't pay-per-view when he went begging for Bellew. They create this fake beef. It ain't fake beef. It's laughing luncheon meat or lopsided lobster. I don't know what it is, mate. Stinky salmon. It's bad, mate. It's bad.
Who, in your opinion, is the only genuine British boxer that's pay-per-view worthy?
Carl Froch. No.
At the minute,
Look,
at the minute.
Well, look, Carl Froch had 3 pay-per-views, right? And look who we beat. Kessler, he did him in London. And 2 Groves fight. You couldn't complain about any of them undercards. Go look at them undercards.
No.
You can't complain, right? Tyson Fury, he's been an opponent and he has pay-per-view, right? Yeah, he's pay-per-view now, he's crossed over. But when you cross over, you've got to fight somebody. You can't just line them up like Dylan White, who's never won a European, or Derek, who's already been in a world title fight and lost. Listen, Derek Chisora's fought 6 top-tier guys, you know, David A, Tyson twice, well, 6 fights at top tier. David A, Vitally, Tyson Fury twice, and I forget he's had a couple of other guys he's been in. You might need to help me out with this because I'm raging. He's been at the top table 6 times, Chisora, and he's come unstuck 6 times, just like Paul Smith did when he met, you know, Groves, Gale, Zuger, and you know, Arthur Abraham, and blah de blah, and Andre Ward, all that lot. They come up short. There's nothing wrong with that. But Derek Chisora's not even British level at the moment, and he's in a pay-per-view. He's shot to bits. It's in front of your eyeball. It's in front of your peepers. Do you know what, mate? It's getting to the stage now where I think boxing is dead. If they milk this in December, they'll have a great Christmas, won't they? All of them are laughing. You know when they go home? They're laughing at fans. They don't care for boxing fans. They'll do a few evening whips after to talk about it, and you have to pay thousands for it. It's garbage. You've got to say, you've got to give Fury credit. He's done the heavy lifting against Wilder, but who else has he done any heavy lifting against to be considered a GOAT? Who? Give me a name. Give me a name. They could have had Hunter for this fight. Hunter's not got an opponent, has he?
There were so many good opponents out there, like B-level guys they could have picked than Derek. You know, it's terrible. And the thing is, even now when a pay-per-view card is announced, usually basically the card has all been pre-planned. Everything's been organized where they can tell you the 6-7 fights are going to be on it. Now it gets to the point where they don't even need to do that, and the card's being sold. So it's really, really poor. As you say, like, I'm sick of looking at clickbait reference Tyson Fury, the greatest ever, and is he one of the best of all time? No. You look at heavyweights way back that didn't even win titles. You know, there's so many really good heavyweights out there in the 70s.
There's loads of guys from the 70s that had more than hold their own in this day and age. There's more than hold their own in this day and age, mate. But Derek Chisora, I can't get it out, man. He must be thinking, oh my God, all my Christmases have come at once. He must be thanking his lucky stars, mate.
And Frank, you know, there's so much stuff that Frank has been saying the last couple of years. You know, Frank has been coming on and saying, well, many losses has Derek got, many losses now has he got, you know, how is he in a pay-per-view fight? How is he this and how is he many losses? And now he's coming out and justifying it with where he's ranked in BoxRec and where he's ranked in the WBC rankings. What's he on about?
Mate. It's a joke. It's an utter joke, mate. And you know what? We keep falling for it, don't we, all the time? And you know what? I thought Bricktop had turned over a new leaf, but listen, Bricktop, you've got the morals of a sewer rat. Atman Strikes Back is right. Morals of a sewer rat. He was saying, didn't he? He don't care for boxing, Bricktop. They care for that. And you know what? Last 5 or 6 months, I thought Bricktop's knocking on a bit now. He's 70 odd. I think he's turned over a new leaf. No, he ain't, mate. And to come and front this out on Talksport, and then you've got Simon Jordan and all them. At first, they're having a little pop, and then they're agreeing with him. I don't want to hear that Derek Chisore's highest ranked guy in WBC. I don't want to hear that. Go and put somebody else who's higher ranked in another division, slot them into WBC like you did Derek, and then let's have a fight. You know what I mean? Oh, wait for Usyk in March. Park him up till March, it won't matter, because he's not going to fight December, then March, is he? Come on. Talking about a guy here who fights every 10 months, is it?
It's, as I say before, Russell, he's fighting a guy with 12 losses. It's easy money. It's absolutely easy money for them both just to turn up. What do you reckon Tyson will get for this? 8 million?
I think I need to start speaking to this thing. I always speak to the side on. He'll be on 10 mil for this. Chisora will be on 2 mil. That's what they'll be on, 12 mil. When really, for a fight of that magnitude, you'd have thought it'd be 15 and maybe 10, wouldn't you? Or 15 and 8 or something, 23. So if they're putting out 10 for Fury and 2 for him, there's 13 more in pot in them, or no, 5, 6. Look, there's millions spare on this, and it's not being spent on undercard, is it?
No.
Come on.
No.
You know what I mean? Do you know if I'd have been Don King, you'd have had Fury Chisora, if he'd even put that on. And then on undercard, you'd have had Yard Beterbiev, wouldn't you? And Dubois, Joyce rematch. Do you know what I mean? Something like that, wouldn't you? You know that sort of. And Joe Parker against, I don't know, some Otto Wallin or something. Wouldn't we? We'd have had stuff like that, wouldn't we? And Isaac Lowe against somebody with a heartbeat. We wouldn't have this garbage that they're going to serve us. It's such a garbage, mate, honestly. I'm sick of it. I'm sick, Ken. I'm sick up to here. I feel like I'm banging my head against a brick wall all the time, mate. I really I feel like taking an hammer and smashing all this office up and saying, you know what? But there's that much time and effort gone into this and other people involved with it. So I can't do that. So I'll get it out of my system over the next few days. But this is bad. This is bad for sport. And you know what? Nobody's going to put it on him at them pressers, you know. Nobody will say a dicky bird at them pressers. All they'll do is arselick. Lickers. Called lickers, mate, in East End. They call them lickers. And that's what they'll do. Nobody will say a word. I don't want to hear jug ears. Spencer Oliver, old big ears, coming out with, well, you know, Derek's up for it, and he's powerful, and it's his last throw at dice. Come on. Jeez, man. Anyway, let's talk about something else. Joshua's taking time out. What do you think to that, Ken? In fact, let's go on to part 2, Ken, yeah?
Yep.
All right.